every year we have in the summer a retreat where we are going to the countryside and we're spending a week together, usually integrating as well the summer solstice. So we have a trip as well to Stonehenge, which is something we do every year, where we go and meditate in a Yang spiral formation, which is a special way of meditating at Stonehenge in this special astrological moment of summer solstice. So that's somehow part of this retreat. But the retreat otherwise is a week in which we both have theory and practice. We have different workshops.
We are in the garden of Ridge Farm. Is the place where we have the camp. As some people eating outside. It's a wonderful place, especially when it's sunny.
All of us are withdrawing from our daily life. We go somewhere together to have a specific focus, to all of us focus, to be open and to go deeper inside ourselves and to discover more things. It becomes a very efficient and wonderful modality to have a very big spiritual leap actually, and to have a very big impulse for the personal practice further on, along with a completely wonderful experience staying in nature, having very nice vegetarian food served.
The heart actually knows the answers.
Dedicate each moment into finding the truth in its deepest meaning or in its highest meaning that we, in that moment, are capable of.
The more we offer, the more we'll attract. It's a very simple process of resonance. We connect, we are the channels of love, we get in the middle of that channel and we start transiting this energy of love through us.
I think I'm starting to get it now. Know thyself.
Clean the mind of the negative emotions. When a human is cheerful, he sees only the good in others and he forgives the faults of others. The respect for others generates respect for himself. The state of communion with the absolute consciousness will appear only when the mental void that is formed by the persistent mental agitation ceases. And the ultimate nature of our true consciousness will appear like the sun when the clouds disappear. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And thank you. Transformation happens when you say yes. The mind needs discipline and the heart needs freedom. Bring it to this moment, because in this present moment, everything is perfect.
This
discovering where you are or what you are in this present moment will be a key point for understanding and discovering how the path is unfolding. The path is unfolding step by step by continuously knowing who we are, continuously discovering who we are, and thus allowing the path to unfold. And we need to continuously rediscover ourselves, reevaluate ourselves, rethink about how we are and how we interact, recreating ourselves. The prison that we have built ourselves has its source in ignorance. Karma. Karma is ignorance. Where we don't perceive, when we don't understand, when things seems limited, when we cannot perceive the unity, when we cannot perceive the truth or the nature of soul as contentment, when we cannot see all of this beauty that all spiritual tradition has spoken about, the source of that reason is ignorance, is karma. And the modalities of vanishing this karma, or vanishing or getting rid of this ignorance, is through knowledge. This is the essence of Svadhyaya, to shed light where darkness is, so thus our consciousness will expand closer and closer to the ultimate reality, to the ultimate sublime truth. It was written that the Shiva Sutra was coming out of the water, and somebody found it. It was engraved in stone. Or other texts like the Bible and other theological texts that have no specific writer as such. They were just ancient texts that brought the message of the divine truth. This was the essence of those texts. Books which have an essence which is beyond time. This is why these books were written and are studied again and again and again, and they haven't lost their value by no means.
I came to say what my question was. Really looked round to me and went, that was my question too. I don't know how it happened, but we sat next to each other, we both picked the green card, and we both had the same question.
The assimilation of a text comes only if we truly know it, if we devour, so to say, the knowledge. But how much of this text are we actually assimilating? And this is the true meaning of Svadhyaya. So when we are approaching a text, we need to bring it into this three dimension. We need to allow it to vibrate in our being, to echo in our being. Svadhyaya and self-knowledge, studying, reading scripts is not about the mind. It's good to have a strong mind, a focused mind, because at least you can read it and you can somehow start the process, but the true digestion, the true contemplation of such script is done in the heart, is done by the superior intuition.
One will be the one offering the hug and one will be the one receiving. The one offering the hug will focus upon this flow of energy, of the divine love that is manifesting through his or her being, meaning that they become the channel for this love to manifest, and they will focus upon that flow of love through their being and through the person that they're embracing.
The person who is the receiver of the hug will focus to receive that love, to receive that energy that the other one is channeling.
It's beautiful.
Very romantic. Delightful. I'm starving.
Beautiful. Happy.
The best loving dinner we're gonna have in the camp.
Last supper. I love you.
Mystery.
Magic.
Satya, from a more metaphysical context, it relates to or describes the absolute reality, that which is unchanging, that which is absolutely true. We cannot speak the absolute truth. The Tao that can be spoken about is not the eternal Tao. That which can be named is not the eternal name. That which is completely true cannot be explained or expressed in words. Is that person ready to receive that truth? Is that truth going to actually transform them, or is it just going to make them suffer? It takes a lot of courage to say the truth. And the one who really does this, and who sincerely tells the truth, and dares to say it, will transform. Truthfulness represents a perfect correspondence between what exists in your mind and what exists in your speech. And this is where the word that we use has a certain creative power. Lying is speaking or thinking about things one does not know. So lying is speaking about things one does not know. So not just intentional lying, but simply speaking about things that we don't truly know. The more pure we are, the more we have evolved, the more we can directly experience the reality according to how it truly is, then the more we have the capacity to express that, and therefore the more aligned our speech is going to be with what we know, what we truly know. In the beginning was the Word. It's not something else but the Word. The Word is that which begins the entire creation. So the entire creative power is represented by the Word. And the yogis are saying exactly this. They're saying it's not unimportant what we say. Everything that we say has an impact. It's very important, the words that we use, that whatever is said comes true. So the idea here is to think before we speak, to bring awareness to the words that we use.
Is that true?
Politeness does have a purpose. It's very good in its essential nature. Politeness is something coming from the heart. It is coming from the idea that we genuinely care about that other person. We genuinely have empathy with that other person. And so politeness is a kind of formal way of expressing that through words. The more objective something is, the closer it is to the real truth, the alignment of what that thing is in reality. That everything that we perceive then is an illusion. Everything that we perceive with the mind is an illusion. It's a relative experience. We identify ourselves with our minds and our memory so much that of course we're going to have attachments to the things that we know. So the fundamental principle of science is not a fact, it's a belief. And the yogis actually say quite the opposite. They say that the basis of all reality is not something physical, it's consciousness. Consciousness is the basis of reality, and physical matter has emerged from consciousness. If we rely from the outside on truth, on the truth where we're forced to rely on the truth that comes through the senses and is filtered by the mind, then we are going to be living our life in an illusion. Is there a way that we can see the world as it truly is? And the answer from the yogis, they say yes, we can see the world as it truly is. And this happens when the mind is perfectly pure and we see the world from the place of our essential self, our spiritual self. This is the essence of our true inner nature. And if we are able to see from here, then we're able to see the reality truly as it is. And this leads us to the highest meaning of Satya.
need to cultivate a universal responsibility for one another and the planet we share. Even compassion has been described as being what ties all human beings together and what ties us to the entire creation, what allows us to understand the mystery of unity of creation, this deep compassion in which we open our hearts to unconditionally love and help all beings. That a human being is part of the whole, called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. We experience ourselves, our thoughts and feelings, something separate from the rest. A kind of optical delusion of consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from the prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. The true value of a human being is determined by the measure and the sense in which they have obtained liberation from the ego self. We shall require a substantially new manner of thinking if humanity is to survive.
Brahmacharya is this self-control, to harmonious integration of everything that we do, say, think, feel, related to ourselves and related to the others. The perfect control of the sexual energies, and as Yoga and Tantra they promote, luckily, this path towards perfection. So the energies are used for achieving perfection. Perfect harmony in oneself and in the relationship with the others. Temperance, gentleness, being temperate in eating, moving, in our thinking. When we are aware of ourselves, of our intentions, of our desires, and in that moment it's quite easy to choose a certain attitude, a certain direction. So, like all the other yamas and niyamas, the practice of Brahmacharya first of all starts from a position of self. This universe is a beautiful game of polarities, yin-yang. This polarity of manifestation of everything that exists takes place at any moment, also takes place inside ourselves at the level of the energies, at the level of the chakras, but also in the interaction with the others. So practically let's say the most practical and easiest and handy way of practicing this game of polarities and using it for our evolution is through the practice of the yoga and tantric techniques, in which one awakens these energies, becomes first of all aware of them, learns how to bring them in, how to control them, how to harmonize them on different levels. So if we stay in that level, the level of love, then the energies by themselves focus or flow towards that focus, towards that center. It's very easy to make love with continence. The energy focus is there, we can make love for hours without problems, you could skip sleeping, eating and so on, and all that energy feeds, nourishes that state of love. Probably we should aim for maybe less time, but more quality time together. Understanding the importance of this vitality on the erotic interaction will allow us to not necessarily to make the process longer, which is very needed, but also to add intensity. So for those 2 hours of lovemaking, those 1 hour of lovemaking, we'll have a lot of resources to burn, to sublime, to bring up.
it really transformed me enormously.
Just wanted to thank you all for such a special experience. It's so much more than any journey or any adventure could ever bring. So these camps are, for me, are life-changing.
I really feel like I'm waking up, and that's a good feeling to have, and not just for me, but for goodness, for truth, for all the things that we stand for and that we're striving to bring to the world. You're so radiant. You know, I sit there and look at you on this couch, and you do have a real glow about you. It's very inspiring, and every single word of every single lecture is a huge revelation. Feel so great now, and just want to, have more, experience more, and give more. And everybody has contributed to this feeling and this inspiration. So thank you to everybody.
It was one time when I say thank you to Greg, our spiritual guide. I say thank you for the best day of my life, and he answered me, "This is just the beginning." For me, it was an amazing yoga camp. It's all the time for a new beginning.
So thank you everyone for being so open.
I can't believe how easily I'm blown away by your incredible, just being here.
Real centering into myself, uplifting and beautiful experiences that everyone's felt.
I felt a lot the presence of angels.
I feel like I learned so much about myself and my relationships with a lot of you.
They're very beautiful high states, and without much effort and somehow with an amazing simplicity, they happened here. Indeed, I had an amazing experience with Morgan's presentation, and I came back from that meditation, which I didn't want to end, and look at him and seeing this beautiful channel. But I looked around and every single one was the same. And part of this amazing experience is the fact that we all, knowing or not, assimilate amazing qualities from one another.
It's like a nourishment. I feel I have a lot of more aspiration. I felt this overwhelming beauty that you're in each of you, and the soul of each of you. I feel more than ever that we are just one being here, more than just one family, like one being.
But I feel it's been such an efficient 3 days of impulse for positive action, if you like, and just complete transformation. And I feel so inspired to just start tomorrow with a very fresh and dynamic and inspired state of mind too.
And there's been an incredible sense of aspiration growing, and we've been talking about yamas and niyamas, ways of aligning your life. Everything just flows. The grace, the aspiration, and they meet, and we get transported as a group, as a family.
It was very, very beautiful. Because you are introducing yourself to God.
I've had the best week of my life.